Alright, what's going on YouTube? We got another Bag for Blood deck build for you today, and today we're going to be talking about an exciting one that I thought was just going to be a bit of a fun experiment, kind of just a melee build that was for fun. I didn't expect it to be as strong as it actually was, but this ended up being one of the strongest decks I've made so far that's somewhat self-sufficient. You'll still need a healer with this, but at the same time, a lot of times you'll end up self-healing yourself with this deck. It's really strong, it's really tanky in a way, and I mean, you'll just be face checking some bruisers, crushers. You're gonna need some stuns for it, but obviously you can let somebody else get hit first, get grabbed up, then start whacking at them. But that's a bit of fun off to the side. But anyways, we'll get into the deck and start explaining it. Obviously, I'll go through this slow. I know some people just want to copy the deck and put it in and have fun with it as they go, and then I'll have a link, or I'll have a list down in the description. Sorry, it's a bit early this morning, so I'm just finishing this up before bed. But I'll have a list of all the cards down below and each of the names in order. But obviously, you start off with Mean Drunk, 75% melee damage. Your melee attacks cause cleave through enemies, dealing damage in a larger area. So basically, this means you're basically hitting in a giant slash motion. You got a radius you're hitting in, and you get this 75. Now it says it disables sprint. This is good for you. I know that may seem a bit off for the build, considering you may want to just charge in. I don't know, you're getting that Viking feeling or something, but it actually tends to work out considering you're not wasting the stamina that you need. And for most of the time, I didn't even need stamina, and a lot of these cards don't even improve my stamina. It just maintains it for efficiency. Now, second card, Battle Lust. Every time you get a melee kill, so every one of the regular infected just jump into that horde and just start swinging. You're getting 2 health that is permanent, or until you lose it, obviously, but you can keep maintaining health this way. It's not temporary. It adds to your health bar. METH, what a funny name for a card. 40% melee attack speed and 40% stamina or melee stamina efficiency, and your melee attacks no longer stick in tough enemies. Now, this disables aim down sights, but the whole time it's only one weapon I'd choose, and it'd probably be the AA-12, the auto shotgun, and you'll only need that for exploders or something like that, something you don't really want to face check. I did it a few times. It's not too much damage, but it can take its toll over time, considering it'll throw you off. Then you'll have to chop through another horde in order to get that health back. Always good to have a healer nearby sometimes, but most of the time you won't need it. But this will basically keep you moving through, keep your attack speed quick, and maintain that stamina. Now, Marathon Runner, no movement penalty for strafe and backpedal. This means you can move in any direction at the same speed. Now, this also disables sprint, so it works hand in hand with Mean Drunk. Perfect for mobility, moving out of situations, backing up when you're trying to hit something, or left or right, any type of situation like that. Ignore the Pain, 20% melee damage against mutations. This also, when you deal melee damage to a mutation, gain 1 temporary health and recover 3 stamina. So when you're hitting those special infected or different types of infected that are a bit stronger or something like that, you're getting that temporary health and stamina back immediately. It's going to work in pair with that Battle Lust. Batter Up, we're just adding more melee damage, adding a bit of health. Plain and simple. Face Your Fears. Now this comboed with the Battle Lust, gaining 3 temporary health, since everything's going to be straight in front of your face with the melee within 2 meters, constantly adding health, so it starts working into your trauma as well, especially if you're going through a real beefy horde. You're going to be racking up some points of health right there. Spiky Bits, 25 melee damage, and also 10% damage resistance while you're using the melee weapon. We don't need ammo capacity. Only thing we're using is a shotgun, only on certain occasions. Motorcycle Helmet, obviously, disables aim down sights. Don't even worry about it. 15% damage resistance and 10 health. Berserker, gain 10% melee damage, 10% melee speed, and 5 move speed for each melee kill you kill in the last 4 seconds. I'm not sure if this stacks. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Not exactly sure, but obviously all those stats are just going to improve all your melee damage. Sunder, melee hits cause the target to take 20% increased damage for 5 seconds. Now, I played with this, I just unlocked this, I haven't even used this in the deck, and it was moving through veteran very smoothly, but I believe this is just going to cause special infected to die a lot quicker. But trust me, even without having this, you're going to do perfect amount of damage to survive anything going on. Obviously, body armor plus 25% trauma resistance, negative ammo capacity. Now, I will say, when I was using this deck, I was playing with somebody that had Doc as the character. I was only playing with one other person, so that should at least tell you how strong this build can be. You only have to 2-man, and they were using the same healer build in the deck I previously had in the video. But Doc also gives everybody on the team 25% trauma resistance, so this will beef it up to 50%. So that's one thing to keep in mind. You will need somebody playing Doc with this character. It may be a bit more dangerous without that 25. So if you don't have somebody playing Doc, you may want to move this up the deck. But if you do have somebody with Doc, it's going to be perfect right here. Brazen, 30% melee stamina efficiency and 30% melee attack speed. You'd wonder why this wasn't up higher. Honestly, with the Meth Head card up there, it's all you'll need for right then. So this is more towards the end of the run, when you get into the final missions of an act or something like that, just to add to it. And evasive action, whenever you take a hit, 10 or more damage, you gain 20% movement speed. That's going to work really well since we don't have sprint. Just add to that, obviously, another one of those things at the very end of a run. And last but not least, hydration pack, 25 health, negative ammo capacity. We don't even need it. That's just going to help keep your life up, maintain a kind of beefy tank kind of build for the melee. And now, the one character that you're going to want to play is going to be Holly, for the specific reason that she already has 10% damage resistance. Holly recovers 10 stamina when she kills a Ridden as well, and has 25 to the team stamina of everyone around you. It's going to work perfectly with you. Now, say you could try to go with Evangelo, but I'd say Holly is a lot better. This is something that, it's going to be up to your personal preference, whether you want the 25 stamina regen or the move speed with this and the ability to break out, considering with Holly, you're always going to have a stun gun in order to break out at certain moments. Hawkers, spitters, crushers, things like that can be problematic for you. And I will also state that obviously you're going to need some kind of DPS with a gun somewhere in the, well, you don't necessarily need it. I did move past some ogres, but obviously you're not doing much damage to ogres with this build. You're not going to be face checking that thing. It's just going to crush you into dust. It's not going to be worth it. But if you do have a moment like that and you have somebodies that have DPS decks as well, I've also have some videos on some of those as well, if you'd like to check them, they're on the channel. But obviously have one of those with you, so when you do encounter an ogre, you've got somebody to be able to deal with it. Because I'll tell you right now, longest portion of the whole Act 3 and Veteran while running this build was the simple fact that we're just kind of running around an ogre, slowly shooting it with a shotgun, while my healer is just slowly doing the same thing, and neither one of us have much damage to our firepower. But still ended up working out, still was able to make it. But beyond that, this works out really well. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's pretty early in the morning. I'm gonna have to get off here, but if you have any questions about the build, questions about cards you may not have, something you will want to replace certain cards with, obviously just let me know down in the comments, ask some questions, or follow the link in the description over to my Twitch. Ask me while I'm live streaming. I don't mind asking or answering any questions. But alright, guys, it's a really fun build. It's really strong and tanky for Veteran. Don't know about Nightmare. It may work out in Nightmare. I may need to tweak a bit of the build for Nightmare, considering how high the damage is. I don't know whether or not you're going to be able to phase check everything, but in Veteran, this is going to, I mean, it's just going to cut through it like a hot knife in butter, pun intended. All right, guys, it's too early in the morning. You guys have a good one. Hope you enjoy this one. This one's a lot of fun. Throw it in, go in with some randoms, do what you want, man. All right, you guys have a good one.